Hey there, be sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell. Hello there. Hopefully everybody can hear me. We'll do a really quick sound check. And just let me know if you can hear anything in the chat if you're there. Just give it a few more minutes and we'll get started. All right, well, welcome everybody. This is Danny Johnson, and I'll be with you today. So today what we're going to talk about is we're going to share, excuse me one second. In this episode is centered around beginners in crypto. So this can even be valuable information for you intermediate folks if you've been doing this for a while. What we're going to talk about is some recent catalysts that contribute to the price explosion, and we're going to help you kind of make a good decision on which exchange to use and set up your wallets and accounts. Plus, I'm going to share a whole bunch of links to websites that I've used over the years that some of the other folks use. So just a quick check in the chat. Looks like if you could, yeah, as we're going here, if you're on mobile, you can utilize the chat, or if you're with us on your desktop or whatever, just type your questions in the chat room and I'll try to keep a good eye on it. So here we go. All right, so first thing before we get going, I want to talk about some of the recent catalysts that's inspired crypto growth. Basically, I think that one of the biggest contributors has been political uncertainty, and that's, of course, here in the United States. The pandemic is also, folks are sitting at home, not working, got a lot of time to do a lot of research, and they're probably seeing a lot of information come across concerning cryptocurrency and its recent massive increase. Then you have folks like Elon Musk. I'll pop over here to TweetDeck, and we'll talk about TweetDeck in a little later, but I usually have a Elon column going here, and you can see, in fact, I should have put Elon Musk. Sorry about that. 1 second. Here we go. Elon. There we go. And you can see a lot of folks are just regurgitating information that Elon tweeted out. I think maybe it was last night. Yeah, it looks like about 10 hours ago, about Dogecoin again. And we'll talk about Doge and kind of get you familiar with that. A couple other things real quick that have contributed is PayPal, Visa, and Square have all came out and said they're going to be incorporating cryptocurrency into their payment systems. So what that means essentially is you will be able to spend your crypto in those, Visa cards, debit cards, PayPal, etc. That's pretty big news. We've been waiting on that information a long time in the cryptocurrency. So that's really good to see. And then, okay. So basically, let's start out with deciding on which exchanges, brokers to use. And so for me, I'm here in the United States, so we have limitations on which exchanges we can use with our US dollar currency. And then basically I'll show you where I'm right here. I'm on CoinMarketCap, which is a really good website. I'm going to provide you the link right now. Just give me 1 second. There we go. If you look in the chat, you'll be able to get that link out of there. There we go. So basically, this is the homepage for CoinMarketCap, and to explain what we're looking at, is it lists the cryptocurrencies by, and you can sort these columns by whatever you want, but typically by popularity or or activity in price for actually what we're seeing here. So as you can see, the Wall Street Bets coin is gaining in popularity. It's up 1,162%, which is incredible, with the market cap of 24, what is that, thousand million billion? Yeah, so $24 billion. And how they come at that number is you take the coin price, which is 483, and you multiply that times the circulating supply of 51 million, and that's how you get the market cap. So it's basically saying that's the value based of the entire population of those coins. So hopefully that makes sense to everyone. And then, as you can see, Bitcoin is usually number one, second to Ethereum, and then Tether and USDT. And so basically, let me explain to you a little bit about Tether real quick. Tether is called a stable coin, and what they're supposed to do is they're supposed to match that up to the US dollar. And so that's basically dollar for dollar. So that shouldn't go up, or that Tether shouldn't move back and forth that much, as you can see over here to the right. It's kind of wiggles around that size. Then anyway, so this is the first page, CoinMarketCap, and what I usually do, first thing is come look over here to see, you can see the price activity, you can see the 7-day percentages, looks like Bitcoin's on the move again, and then you can see a lot of information. And what I did want to show you up here at the top is exchanges. You click exchanges, and now we have a list of exchanges based on volume, number of volume that they handle, and etc. And you can sort these columns out there which way you want. So as you can see, Binance is number one, and I actually trade in Binance. I have its accounts full disclosure. Boy, make sure I'm pronouncing that right. Is very popular, I think, in Asian markets. And then Coinbase, which is the pro version of Coinbase, which I use both. So basically, you transfer fiat currency as US dollars in the US into Coinbase, and then you link that over instantly transfer and invest in Pro. And we'll talk about that a little bit later. Then you got Kraken, which these are all overseas. And then see Gemini is another US-based company. Two twins on Wall Street now, that Jackal and Coinbase are FDIC insured, so they're actually regulated by the banking industry. I want to keep that in mind. So basically, let's links into the chart. And one of the ones that's not listed here, I'm very fond of is Tasty Works. Tasty Works is a US-based company. I'm going to put a little code in the chat. Excuse me. So Tasty Works is a US-based company that started trading US stocks and futures. And you can trade options in there. And just recently, last they launched crypto trading, which I really feel safe and secure with how they're handling. They use Apex Clearinghouse, which I believe is the same folks that are clearing Coinbase and Coinbase Pro. So your crypto is pretty safe there. So these links I put over here in the chat are referral links, and so if you use these referrals, sometimes I get a good stock, sometimes I might get $10-15. It's up to you. So once you fund the accounts, you should be seeing some kind of rewards in there. It doesn't cost you any extra. It's painless, I'm sure. I promise, because I've used them with other people when I got started. Okay, so I'm going to now we'll talk about Coinbase, and I'm going to flip over and show you the Coinbase. This is an account that I just set up recently to demonstrate with. And just so you know that a lot of people don't know, once you set up an account and once you fund it, you're going to start to unlock these, where are they at? The ability to take some tutorials, and they'll actually pay you. Like you see here, it says earn $2 in CGLD. And that's going to, basically what they're doing is these coin suppliers are rewarding people just to learn about it. So it's how they promote it. So you can earn, it says up here, you can earn up to 6 CELO just by watching videos and taking some really good tests. And there's a lot of good information there for tutorials, things like that. But, you know, I've always highly recommended Coinbase. I think they do a really good job of keeping your money secured, your crypto secured. And then setting up a Coinbase account, I believe before you even fund it, you'll need to set up a two-party authentication. So basically what that means is it's going to use an authenticator. This particular one for Coinbase is called Authy, and I'll pop over there and show it to you. So this is two-factor authentication for your favorites. So this one, you've got Grammarly, CoinLoan, they're featuring here, but there's Coinbase uses Authy, which is basically an app you get on the App Store. And I'm going to go ahead and give you a link in the chat for Authy. This is not a referral link. This is just a link to their website. And then here it comes. There you go. Use that link, and then it can point, whether you've got an Android device or a Android or iPhone, iOS, you can go to either one, the App Store or the what they call it. I'm not even familiar with Android, but it's there. And they also have a desktop version, which you can use two-party or two-factor authentication. And you're going to have to use this because basically this is protecting your access into your Coinbase account, and it's just for added security protection. So there it is. So this is Authy. And then some of the other ones will use Google Authenticator, and Google actually has, and I'll show you here, I'm going to put the link in the chat room. Here we go. There we are. There is the Google, and it's not a referral, that's just straight up there. Let me pop on into their site. So here it is, two-factor authentication, and a lot of other sites I saw are using this now. I can't remember, this one the other day required me to set it up, which I thought was pretty cool. And then so go ahead and get that over with. You're going to have to do that to set your accounts up before I think they'll even let you fund it. And then also you need to know about, it's something called KYC, or Know Your Customer. Here in the United States, there's strict regulations on banking, finance, exchanges, brokerages, that you can't be particularly invisible. So some of these are going to require, especially when you start moving large amounts of money around, they're going to require you to validate your identity. And in doing so, it's usually going to require two types of photo ID. Sometimes it's your driver's license, passport, and then also you'll have to take a picture of yourself and hold it up. It's a little bit of a exercise, but go ahead and get used to it, or be prepared. Take some really good pictures of yourself, have them ready. That way you can, I know Binance definitely does this. Although they're not located in the United States, they are required to abide by the Know Your Customer. So that's a little bit on exchanges. So Once you get past the two-factor authentication and your KYC requirements, you're ready to fund your account. And to do so, what you would typically do is you're going to go in there, and there's tons of videos out there. I'm not going to get too in depth in that because it can expose my private keys and stuff. So I'm not going to really show that live. But what you will do is you go in, you put your banking routing number and your banking account number into their form, and then you submit. And then what they're going to do is they're going to usually make 2 deposits. Sometimes they even do 4. They're small amounts like 45 cents and 37 cents, and you enter those amounts back into the exchange's form. That validates that you own that account. And then, so once you do that, you're good to go. Then you can set up you can do a one-time transfer, or you can do, a monthly transfer if you wanted to do. And this depends on what your budget is in investing. So I recommend just taking like $100 a month and find you a side gig that you can earn an extra $100 and just plop it into crypto. And then we'll talk about some strategies on getting fiat money into crypto. And one thing I will mention, it is possible to move crypto from one exchange to another. So you can move from Coinbase over to Binance and vice versa, and you can move it into different wallets, and you can even move it into cold storage. And that requires using your public and private keys. And like, again, if you want to take a note here and just do a search, there's lots of good information out there on how to do that, but you just need to be careful that make sure you're, alone and private and nobody sees your private keys. Because if anyone has a private key, they can move your money out. And so protect those keys. And then, but you can move it. So basically, that's what I would do. Is I'll just give you a tip right off the bat. It's in my tips list here, but Litecoin here and on Coinbase. Oh, there we go. Coinbase Pro. Let's say we're going to move Litecoin and get back to cryptocurrencies. LTC USD. Litecoin it's actually the crypto that was designed to move currency around. So you can, convert your US dollars into Litecoin for a small fee, immediately sell it, and then buy other coins with it. You could buy BTC. Like in Coinbase, they're going to use their version of the stable coin. I think in Coinbase it might be USDC coin. I'm not sure, but that's just like Tether, like I mentioned before. You see here, it's paired to the US dollar, and it shouldn't fluctuate that much. It's just a stable coin used as another alternative to the US dollar. Let me check the chat real quick. I don't have any questions. Okay. Then I'm going to put some other links. These are referral links to the exchanges that I use. There we go. Coinbase, Binance, Robinhood. I know there's a lot of controversy right now with Robinhood, and they're having problems. They've had problems in the past, especially when there's a lot of volume trading crypto. You'll find that you're trying to enter a position, and it just, you just get the spinning wheel of death, and then 20 minutes later it takes your order once the move is already done, dead and gone. So keep that in mind. Rob, they're trying their best, I suppose. They did a really good job at getting stock trading options and crypto out to the masses, but they're having difficulties dealing with scaling up. And that sometimes honestly can happen with Coinbase. You'll notice that you're trying to get into a position, and then if you're using your phone, the app freezes. So if I'm trying to do that, I usually have both the app going on my phone and on the computer. So one platform or the other, I can get in and get out. Coinbase Pro, which you learn later on, and once we get to that ability, we will I'll go over that with you and show you how to trade inside there. Okay, so now what I want to do is talk a little bit about I've got it here in my notes, top 10 mistakes that your people tend to make when you're first starting. So I'll show you the first one is fear of missing out. You wake up in the morning, you see the price is going nuts, and I'm just going to run over to the chart and show you an example. Let's see here. You look up and you see just a straight point up. You're thinking, oh my goodness. Hey there, be sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell. Okay, looks like we're back. Oh, sorry about that. That was a catastrophe. But anyway, we are back. So let's figure out where we left off here. And get this back. There we go. So we were talking about some of the common 10 mistakes that people make in crypto. So don't buy based on FOMO. So basically what you want to do is buy the rumor, sell the news. And I want to give you a good example. So this is called CoinDesk. Oh, shoot, clicked the wrong one. Here we go. CoinDesk. I'll put the link in the chat. There we go. That's CoinDesk. So CoinDesk is a news aggregator straight up about crypto. And they're pretty good usually about not, fudding or spreading fear, uncertainty, and doubt about blockchains. There's a lot of good information on here. I highly recommend it. So you can also sign up for alerts to get emerging information coming out from their particular news aggregator. So secondly, don't buy based on someone calling out tickers. Do your own due diligence. And what that means is, like I showed you with TweetDeck, and TweetDeck is free, by the way. It's Twitter. It's owned by Twitter. You need a Twitter account. And you can sort up here. These columns are all custom, so you say $, BTC. So I want to know all about what the news coming out about Bitcoin. What you'll see is a lot of folks just totally spamming out these tickers, trying to pump it. They've already been in this position. And what you look for, though, is repetitive. See how this chart's starting to repeat, this WSP Jonathan guy? So in just 15 minutes, our well team created $ADA pump with 100% profit. So let's see what he's doing here. Let's go over that. Go to trading view. And charts, chart, and then we're going to look at, let's have a look at ADA, what they're doing to it. Where is it? ADA. I don't have it here, so let's type it in. Up here, you just type in the ticker ADA USD. And so this is calculated by TradingView, so that's a pretty good one. So yeah, so this guy, you can see they were running the pump up. And this is typically what happens. They'll go on Twitter, and they're usually about right in here when they start to, the Twitter bots will start spamming it. And what they're trying to do is encourage people to run it up even further, so they can expand their profits. So what they would have done is probably got a group together early in the morning and said, okay, we're going to get a position in ADA around 50 cents. And then we're just going to spam it out on Twitter using thousands and thousands of Twitter handles around the world and run it up. And usually it happens. So once folks get word of it, they're already selling. So they probably got in here, everybody sold that was part of this scheme right in here, maybe half or 2/3 of the position, and then they got up here, and then you can see here they sold it all the way down. So that is textbook pump and dump, and it happens a lot. Unfortunately, it happens a lot in stocks, particularly with penny stocks or low market cap stocks, just like they do with these lesser known coins. So just be aware of that and be careful. Don't get caught up in that kind of stuff. Usually somebody's left holding the bag. If somebody got word on Twitter, oh yeah, it's going crazy. Man, I bought right here. Because as you can see, it's taking a turn for the worse. So you're left holding up here until it comes back up again. So just be very careful with that. Also, one thing I like to tell people, don't get caught up in the altcoin madness. Kind of focus your efforts on BTC, Bitcoin. And this is BitScreener. I'll put the link in the chat. And BitScreener is pretty good because they have a heat map that shows basically the market cap, or particularly in this case, price activity. So if it's red, it means it's going down. If it's green, it's going up. So you can just kind of get a real quick visual which way it's moving. That's BitScreener. Okay. And so just be careful. So basically what I like to do is I use Bitcoin as like a long-term investment, and I trade some of the altcoins, day trade, swing trade, as they're moving, but I trade straight up technically and on technical analysis and fundamental analysis. And because this is kind of a beginner orientation, don't get too wrapped up into that, because we'll have to work towards getting everybody trained up on that. So, okay. I mentioned earlier, don't fund your accounts with BTC. So if you're trying to move US dollar fiat into Coinbase, use Litecoin, because Litecoin has lesser fees. You'll transfer it into Litecoin, and then if your goal is to own BTC, then you can sell the Litecoin immediately at relatively the same price. Try to do it during non-volatile times. I can show you here like a good strategy for Litecoin would have been, it's been banging around. Let's do it on the daily time frame. So right here in this consolidation phase, so any time in here, you're only talking $3 or $4 difference. And if you just transfer your fiat into Litecoin, immediately sell it, you may lose a few pennies here and there, but you're going to save on the fees, because the fees are less with Litecoin. It's designed to be like, high frequency currency exchange for crypto. So just keep that in mind. And also don't get discouraged in panic sell. If you come in, if you happen to gotten encouraged to get in and it's not up there, you know what? It's just good strategy not to, I say, blow the whole wad. So you don't want to throw every dollar you have to spend at first. Scale in. So that way, that's going to give you some flexibility, and buy it on the pullbacks. Watch for these red candles, or if you're using, I'll show you another, because I'm using pretty advanced technical analysis here. So if you go into this 7-day trend on this is on-chain, wait for it to see this little dip here, and basically this is a bad example because it's ADA or Cardano. They just pumped this one, but try to buy it on the pullbacks. Like if you were here and it was going up, oh my gosh, I got to get in. No, you just waited patiently, and then maybe right in here you would have gotten in, and then if you did that, you're patient, then you'd still be in profit. So that's a good point. Another good point, and let me put this link on there for you real quick. I'll put that in the chat. Here we go. So another good point is to don't buy into CNBC and Bloomberg. CNBC and Bloomberg are these news aggregates that have a tendency to pump stocks in crypto. They'll buy in, they'll put the CEO of a particular company on their television show where they've already had a position in it, and then of course the stock price is going to go up. They do the same with crypto. There's CNBC has their own crypto channel, and I know the guy was South African, so I'm not sure. I just totally got discouraged with him all the way around, so I just ignore him. So basically what you want to do is set up your own news aggregation. So how do you disseminate the news? How do you make good judgment? And that's where we go to TweetDeck again. Because what you're trying to do is you're trying to see who's credible and who is not. And you'll find out really quick, like this guy, WSB Jonathan, no, this guy he's just trying to pump. He's probably got his $27 in ADA, and he's trying to make 1,000 out of it. So just use your own judgment. You can see all this every minute, and some of these folks aren't even real. Most of the times you can pop over. You click here. They may have accounts, and sometimes Twitter will get them. They'll catch them spamming, or they'll find out that these are just basically Twitter bots. Just spamming information. But you could see if I was Twitter and this guy was posting something every minute, I would ban them. So you can see. So basically, you got to use your own judgment. So what you want to do is look for information, try to validate it, trying to find somebody credible, and like I said earlier, buy the rumor, sell the news. So if there's rumors circulating around, and like I said, you have to make sure it's credible, and go for it. So once you get comfortable with moving stuff from exchange to exchange, another don't is do not move large sums of your crypto at a time. It's pretty cheap to move it from one place to the other. What you don't want to do, especially when you're using your public and private keys to move things around, if you make a mistake, it evaporates, and most of the time you can't get it back. I made a mistake in Binance one time, and they actually did they managed to revert the transaction back, and I was very, very lucky. But that was 7 years ago, so be careful with that. So basically this moves little tiny bits at first to get used to the process. You can go on and find, like I said, on YouTube and things like that, really good tutorials on how to move it around. And just you want to make sure that you know what you're doing, because you can hurt yourself with that. So last don't is don't loan or leverage your BTC or your crypto for that matter. Some of the exchanges will allow, I know Binance will, they'll let you loan out Bitcoin, they'll pay you, and you can also get leverage. You have to pay them, and once you get leverage, so basically what they're doing is loaning you money based off of your crypto. So don't get involved in that trap, because a lot of the leverage trades are 15 to 50x. You could make a shit ton of money for sure, but you can also lose a bigger shit ton of money, and that is US shit ton metric tons. So that's a whole lot of money. So anyway, just like this, you can see right here, trending on Twitter right now, Doge to $1. It's the number one trend on Twitter. We go over there, we check, okay, is it going to $1? Here's the chart, and it's straight up, it's at 6 cents. So even if we go out to the weekly chart, what would it take for Doge to go to $1? Pretty easy to figure out. I'll show you. CoinMarketCap. So, Doge. Where you at, Doge? Rooney? Here we go. Doge. Right now, there's 128 billion Doge in circulation. So, 128 billion at 6 cents, you multiply that together, and you get $9 billion. So for this to be $100, you would subtract 100 from 6 cents, and that's what, roughly 93 cents. Multiply that times this number, the circulating supply, and you would find out for Doge to go to $1, you would have to have more market cap than all this crypto combined, everything. You're talking, $1 trillion or something, or more maybe. So keep that in mind. It can go up, and you can make some good gains with Doge. And it's just like trading a penny stock. But also keep in mind that Doge is an actual fork of Litecoin, and there's absolutely no cap on circulating supply. So, for example, with Bitcoin, there's only going to be so many Bitcoin, and actually they do a halving. What is that? Every 4 years or something. So once it gets to its maximum, it's going to get less and less Bitcoin, which will limit the circulating supply, which is in turn going to create higher demand and make it more expensive. So that was the whole design of it. Is the more you have in circulation, the less value it's going to have. So a lot of these other coins are the same way. Keep that in mind. And just to wrap up a little bit, so another tip is get to know which coins are decentralized and which are not. Ripple comes to mind because Ripple is basically owned by a company, and it's not decentralized, and it's highly controlled, and it was designed for a payment gateway or payment movement of money back and forth. So I don't even see, is Ripple even in this is Stellar XRP. You don't see Ripple no more. But just get to know them, and like I said, you can learn a lot on CoinMarketCap. You can click on, I'll show you an example. Let me find one that we know is ERC20 token, sorry. And basically an ERC20 token is built on top of Ethereum. And so that means that if you learn about Ethereum, you can click here, read all about it. You learn how it was developed by Vitalik, which is a pretty cool dude. But most of these ERC20 compliant tokens are built. Well, they all are built on top of Ethereum, so they need Ethereum to work. This will tell you how many are in circulation, so this kind of helps you determine there's arguments and counter arguments whether Ethereum is decentralized or centralized. So just keep that in mind. Okay, and I think that's about all I have for you today. I appreciate your patience with the technical glitch that we had right in the middle of everything. Hopefully you're still with me. If you have any questions, you can type them in the chat. Mrs. and Mrs. Whitebird, if you're still out there, post something in that chat. Let me answer some questions. I'll give it a few minutes. And we'll see. Meanwhile, I'm going to switch over and if you're interested in TradingView, I highly recommend it. I have of course, I have a referral link. I'm not even sure how TradingView rewards referrals. I think they give you like a badge or something on TradingView, but you can follow me on TradingView. I do post charts on there and trading ideas, and there are quite a bit of other ones in there as well. Here, I'll get the link for you. Gonna put that in the chat real quick. There we go. And basically, I'll show you real quick. TradingView is free, and can I go to homepage? Let me do it this way. This works. There we are. So there's a free version out there, and if you're just getting started out, it's likely that you'll have everything you need. I have the pro version only because I use it a little bit more advanced capabilities. But you can see here, you see people's trade ideas over to the right. They're kind of doing some charting for you. It's a great way to learn. I post charts on here all the time. You can see some of this stuff looks similar to what you saw on mine. You can do live streams. And so this is the home page. You get a market summary, S&P. It does any kind of ticker. So basically, you can do, let's show you BTC, but I want to know what it's USD and US dollars, and then now I get to choose which exchange I want the data from. So particularly I want this one from Coinbase, because that's the one, and then there we go. And it's going to give you, well, this is the line chart, and then it'll compare the prices. You can see that vary slightly on each exchange. And then related. So there's a lot of good information here. You could spend hours and hours and hours and hours going through here. There's a chat, which is usually hilarious. There are just guys out there. So I can pull one out there. Guys and girls out there. Some are posting legit charts. They're defending them. Then you see folks just putting rocket ships and all that